I heard my father's voice before I could open my eyes. Let her go. We're not paying for the surgery. I was in a coma, and he was deciding I wasn't worth the bill. He signed a do not resuscitate order. He forged my name. He sold my grandmother's house. He thought I'd never wake up. He was wrong. If you've ever been underestimated, betrayed, or written off by someone who was supposed to protect you, this story is going to hit hard. Subscribe for more intense family drama and real revenge stories where justice shows up loud and undeniable. Let's get into it. My name is Marissa Cole. I'm 26 years old. 3 months ago, I almost died. And the person who helped it happen was my father. It was a rainy Thursday night. I was driving home from work. Nurse shifts run late. I remember the glare of headlights, the sound of tires losing grip. Then nothing. When I woke up days later, the first thing I saw was white ceiling tiles and fluorescent lights. My throat felt like sandpaper. Machines beeped in slow rhythm, and my body wouldn't move. A nurse noticed my eyes flicker. "Marissa," she whispered, "can you hear me?" I couldn't speak, but I could hear, and what I heard next would change everything. Later that day, a different nurse leaned in, adjusting my four. "You're lucky," she said softly. "If Dr. Patel hadn't pushed back." Pushed back against what? My heart monitor ticked faster. She hesitated. Then she realized I was fully conscious. "Your father signed a DNR." The words didn't register at first. He said the surgery was too expensive. He didn't want extraordinary measures. My chest tightened. No, that wasn't possible. My dad, Victor Cole, was many things. Cheap, controlling, proud, but not that. The nurse continued carefully. "He also provided a document with your signature, consenting to limited intervention." Signature. I couldn't even hold a pen. He forged it. Here's the part that makes this worse. Money had always been my father's religion. He didn't ask how you felt. He asked what you cost. When my mom got sick years ago, he complained about medication prices before he asked about her pain. When my grandmother passed and left her small but fully paid off house to me, he called it wasted equity. I didn't live there yet. I was planning to move in after renovations. He insisted on managing it. I trusted him. I was an idiot. While I was unconscious, he acted fast. He accessed my email, reset passwords, used my documents. He transferred the deed of my grandmother's house into his name using power of attorney paperwork he forged. He claimed I had verbally agreed to sell it to cover medical costs. Medical costs for the surgery he refused to authorize. The irony would almost be funny if it wasn't criminal. Lying in that hospital bed, unable to sit up without dizziness swallowing me whole, I felt something crystallize inside me. It wasn't just anger. It was clarity. He didn't see me as his daughter. He saw me as a liability. And liabilities are cut. I decided something in that moment. If I survived fully, I would not let this go quietly. Physical therapy was brutal. Every step felt like dragging cement blocks. My hands shook when I tried to hold a spoon. But pain sharpens focus, and I had a goal. I asked the hospital for copies of every document my father signed, the forged DNR, the forged consent forms, the financial communications. Hospitals keep records of everything, including conversations. One recording sealed it. Victor's voice. Calm, detached. She wouldn't want to live disabled. We're not paying for extended care. No hesitation, no grief. Just math. When I was discharged, I didn't go home. Because technically, I didn't have one. I went to my friend Alina's apartment, and I called a lawyer. Forgery, medical fraud, elder estate manipulation. The list grew longer with every document we uncovered. My grandmother's house had been sold, quickly, below market value, to one of my father's business associates. Paper trail? Sloppy. He'd rushed because he thought I wasn't coming back. When he finally saw me standing in his driveway 2 weeks later, walking slowly but upright, his face drained of color. "You're up," he said. Up, like I'd just taken a nap. "You signed a DNR," I said evenly. He didn't deny it. I made the best decision financially. Financially, not medically, not morally. Financially, I'm your daughter. You were in a coma. There it was. Past tense. Here's where the revenge becomes surgical. We didn't confront him immediately. We filed quietly. Fraud charges. Civil suit for wrongful medical directive. Petition to reverse property transfer due to coercion and falsified power of attorney. The hospital opened an internal ethics investigation. That recording? It spread fast among the board. He wasn't protecting my wishes. He was protecting his wallet. Victor Cole owned a small but respected construction firm in town. Reputation mattered. So when court filings became public record, when local reporters started asking why a father signed a DNR against his conscious daughter's prior documented wishes, when the forged signature comparison hit the courtroom projector, he stopped answering calls. Clients pulled contracts. Banks froze credit lines pending investigation. And the business associate who bought my grandmother's house? He flipped fast, testified that Victor assured him I was unlikely to recover. The court hearing lasted 6 hours. I sat across from him, heart steady. For once, he looked smaller. The judge reviewed the medical documentation, the forged signature, the recording, the property transfer timeline, and then came the words, "Mr. Cole, your actions demonstrate clear intent to deprive your daughter of medical care for financial gain." The DNR was ruled invalid. The property transfer reversed. Criminal fraud charges approved for prosecution. Civil damages awarded. My grandmother's house was returned to me. And Victor? His assets were frozen pending trial. Construction licenses suspended. Public reputation in ashes. He tried to speak to me outside the courthouse. You don't understand the pressure I was under. I looked at him calmly. You chose money over me. And then I walked away, on my own 2 legs. Emotional release. The first night back in my grandmother's house, I sat on the living room floor. Sunlight filtered through the same curtains she used to wash every Sunday. I put my hand flat against the hardwood floor. I was alive, against his calculation, against his signature, against his expectation. And the thing about survival is this. When someone tries to erase you and you come back anyway, that's power they can't ever touch again. Some people think revenge is loud. It isn't. Sometimes it's paperwork, evidence, patience. Sometimes it's letting the truth unfold so completely that the person who betrayed you has nowhere left to stand. My father thought 72 hours of silence meant I was gone. He never imagined I'd wake up and make him answer for every single decision. If this story left you stunned, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. What would you have done if you found out someone signed away your life for money? And subscribe for more intense family revenge stories where justice doesn't whisper, it roars.